Good evening, YouTube, and welcome back to JoJo Speaks. Thank you guys so much for joining us this evening. I've been informed that we have a couple of people here already, so hello to all of our viewers. Thank you so much for joining us. A couple things I want you guys to do before we get started. Make sure you subscribe to JoJo Speaks. Press that big red button. It is free to do. Also, be sure to give us a thumbs up on this video. We want to see a couple this time around. Be sure to leave us a comment. Let us know your thoughts on the topics that we're covering tonight, and also let us know what you'd like to hear us discuss in the future. Also, make sure you press that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And be sure to share JoJo Speaks all around the world. Share it with your family, your friends, your loved ones on all your social media platforms. Let's get JoJo Speaks out here in these streets, honey. We have our co-hosts back, Jennifer, Tyrone, and Mike. What's going on, y'all?
Hello. I'm trying to stay warm in this cold South Carolina weather, and I refuse to put my heat on right now, so I'm freezing.
Right. And so this past week, we had quite a few debates going on because the midterm elections are right around the corner. They're next month. And one that stood out quite vividly was the competition between Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker. They debated in Georgia, and I just want to get your guys' overall thoughts on that particular debate and what you viewed that evening.
Atlanta, this is probably the first time I am happy that I'm in South Carolina because that was a mess. I don't even know how he got, in the position where he could even run. What's his name? What's the one that making up stuff? Herschel Walker?
Herschel Walker, right.
When he speaks, sometimes I need the thing at the bottom of the screen to tell me what he said.
The closed caption.
Yeah, the closed caption, because he shortens words. I'll skip the whole entire word.
Right.
And then also he makes up a whole entire story. And the big thing that's been going around, I know, on TikTok was the point where he said he is a police or he be with police. It didn't make no sense when he said it. And then he
said, "I am worked with police officers." That's exactly what he said. I am worked with police officers.
And then he decided to pull out the Toys R Us badge.
Right.
When that happened, I'm surprised they just didn't stop the whole debate, because this was probably the first time in debate history, probably, where we had a prop. And it's embarrassing because he's a black guy at that. Black guy just putting us back years for his ignorance. I even went as far as to watch more of his debates on YouTube.
Right.
Because I was just amazed. And it's all debate that everybody was white in the audience. And it made zero sense what he was talking about. I mean, he's talking about a cow and I don't know what he was talking about. It made by a cow having offspring, and I don't know what he was talking about, but it made zero sense. And I don't know if I don't understand. I don't know how people in the Atlanta understood. Right, and Stevie don't understand either.
Right,
Stevie don't get it.
Yeah, he don't get it either.
The story he was telling is an old story about this male bull on a field, and there are 3 calves in his playpen area, and then in another playpen area there are 3 other cows in the other playpen area, and he's already got these 3 cows in his area pregnant, and he wants to get the other ones pregnant too. So he jumps over the fence and he goes to the other cows, but he realizes those cows are bulls. They're actually male cows. And so he was trying to use that story to.
It didn't make no sense when you said it, and definitely when he said it.
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense at all. It's basically saying the grass is not always greener on the other side.
Well,
that's basically what it's saying.
Because what he was saying, I mean, I understood what you said, though, Jonathan. But when he said it, I didn't know. I just took him out because I just got lost. Shut up.
I have to tell you,
I'm very sad. Myself and Tyrone We listened to that particular situation, and at the time, Tyler was greasing my scalp, and we were
Nice and intimate
yeah,
for the
Yes.
married couple.
that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? Make sure my scalp is readily greased.
Okay,
Right.
moisturization. Okay.
Husbands, grease your wives' scalps.
um, so when we were listening to it, I already knew that Herschel Walker would sound
Ignorant.
like the uneducated fool that he is.
Yes.
But he is perfect for the party that he's running for. He is the puppet, you know, like he doesn't know nothing about nothing, so he can be persuaded to do any and everything.
Right.
Even continuously say that he's a police officer when he's not. We are from Cobb County, which is the county that he said he was a police officer for. The sheriff made sure to get in front of somebody's microphone and said, he is not no police officer for this here county.
Or no
And
one.
or no other county. Well, I'm sure all that he could do is speak of his own. But the only other thing that I realized with this one is that Ralph Warnock, which is the man that he's running against,
Mm-hmm.
he's not the best himself, but he is no Herschel Walker.
Well, my thing
So-
is, I think that anybody against Herschel Walker is the better candidate. I mean,
Right. Exactly.
Absolutely. And let me first of all, I would like to thank our early risers, Aaron D and Joseph, making it on in before we could even go live. Thank you for patiently waiting on us. Joseph says, waiting with anticipation. And of course, Aaron, she's so lovely. She greeted Joseph and made sure that his phone is charged because you know it never is. Never is.
Yes, sir.
All right, and the Juice Radio talk show came on in. Everybody greeted everybody. Everybody's just so sweet and nice. Oh, let me put this on here. I'm sorry.
hey,
The Juice
how you
Radio
doing?
talk.
Hey, Regina.
She said, "Hey."
The buffoonery, yes, Regina. I don't know. I'm
Right.
scared for y'all people in Atlanta.
Child.
Not the club.
She said, "Mike, not the closed caption."
Because I didn't know
Okay.
what he was talking about. He was in
Right.
he started out country, and it's not wrong being country at all. Because my entire family, my mom's side, from the country. But and usually I can understand people who make up use country like yonder. Euphemisms. But I have never been able to understand. I'm like, what is he talking about? Because he shortens the word that doesn't even need to be abbreviated.
Yeah, it's the way that he constructs his sentences. That's the issue with Herschel Walker.
Can you
Let
say
me
one
tell
more
you
time
something.
how he said he is with policemen? What did he say, Jonathan?
I am work with police officers.
Yeah, his construction workers are
Oh God!
not coming into work for the construction of his sentences.
Right.
But oh gosh, Regina's talking about the way that lady said, "Put that proper way."
And
Okay,
it's like
put it
she
down.
She said we had a conversation before this event started about
Right.
props, didn't we?
Yes.
And I was like, okay, is that your mother back there?
Right. She says, and you know we have discussed this, right, Mr. Walker? So thank you for putting that proper way. You know that was a black woman. You didn't even have to see her.
Okay. She sounded white the way. It might have been a black lady.
It was.
It was a black lady.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it sounded like a black lady to me.
What was it? Oh, and Regina says, Stevie says,
Right.
Right, exactly.
Aaron D says, that makes no sense. The story that you gave.
Right.
Regina says,
Okay, Scout.
Tammy.
Tammy. Hey, Tammy.
Hey, Tammy.
All right. Hi, all. That bonehead is the Republican House.
Fill in the blank.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
She said fill in the blank. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Tammy, I'm going to say it.
Mm-mm.
Why can't I say it? Okay, I won't say it. Tyrone said no.
He's the house prop. That's what he is.
All right. Maybe he's something that rhymes with noon. All right.
I like my butterflies in the cocoon.
Yes. Aaron D says, happy to wait. Regina says, there we go. The sheriff basically said, he ain't with us. Y'all can have
You
him.
can have them. Yes.
Right.
Aaron D says, hey to Tammy. Yo, Aaron says, Tammy. Hello to Regina.
I love everybody with the communication. Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Hey, Tammy, my beautiful cousin. We laughing at Tammy.
Nancy.
What do you mean, Regina?
That means something
With
that maybe
Nancy.
Tammy understood.
I guess.
Probably.
Because she laughed at it.
Because she sure laughed after that.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, and
That's
you know
it.
what? An actual sheriff's culture or sheriff's group came out and said that specific badge that he was showing during that debate is for a trophy case. It gives you no power. It does not allow you to arrest anyone. It doesn't give you any arresting capabilities or anything of that nature. It's for show.
Well, we
And
know if you never went to a police academy, we know he knows he's not a police officer. Nobody knew that, but nobody thought he was a police, but he did. Nobody ever thought he was. So he
right,
didn't fool no one.
right, and to Jennifer's point, Raphael Warnock, I will say he wasn't the best. I will say that he wasn't necessarily strong, as you would see like a Barack Obama during a debate or a Joe Biden during a debate. But he held himself up for the most
Well,
part.
he didn't need to be.
Right, yeah, he didn't need to be going up against Herschel Walker. But anyways, we'll see where that goes because that race by judging by the polls is still pretty close.
And
It's
I'm
still
so surprised.
Right.
Like, it's not like a landslide.
Don't be.
Don't
Don't be.
And what do you guys think about this race between Stacey Abrams and the incumbent governor? Because I'm hearing that her numbers are a little bit lower than they were when they last went up against each other. Is that true? I heard that.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're hoping for the
Yes.
best for Miss Abrams. We'll see where it goes. So Nicki Minaj, I believe someone from the Grammys has come out and said that Nicki has 5 nominations in the rap categories. So she does have nominations in the rap categories. Jennifer, was there something concerning Nicki that you wanted to discuss this evening?
Well, she also bought in, what's that child name? Lotto into the conversation. Her song Big Energy does have kind of a poppy appeal. Let me take this thing out. A poppy appeal to the song, and Nicki felt as if her song, what's her song again? Super Freaky Girl. If that song was put as a pop song, then Big Lotto's song should have been the same way with the big energy. And that's where all that ensued. I'm trying to figure out where there was any kind of disrespect in those kind of comments. But Lotto, she started talking about how there's been a lot of subliminal shots and stuff towards her. And that's when the back and forth on Twitter began and ended with a recorded conversation. I personally feel like there was no need for all that back and forth. And especially with, I don't like to say it, but they're saying that Nicki's a super freaky grandma, unfortunately. And that she's a little too old to be singing a song like that. And I am.
What?
I have to really think about it. She is 40 years old, and it's
Lil
like,
Kim is older than her, and she still come out with rapping about everything but.
Thank you.
Say that again. I didn't hear.
I said Lil Kim is way older than her, and she comes out rap about everything but Christ. I mean,
This is true, but I just found that funny. But
Yeah.
anyway, Nicki Minaj arguing with the little girl, it really takes me back to when. Okay, she's not a little girl. How?
No, I'm just. I'm waiting. I'm just. I can't have my face expressions. I'm waiting to have my turn to speak. That's all.
No worries. I just feel like, first of all, Lotto shouldn't have been doing that herself. Because when it comes to all of the extra stuff, Nikki is, it just seems like she's just ready and open to have the argument, the back and forth. And I don't believe that neither one of them needed that. And also, all of this kind of takes me back to when the whole Nikki and Lil Kim thing was at a big rise. You know, it's
And I
like,
still don't know why they mad at each other or why Lil Kim is mad at Nicki Minaj. I don't understand why they mad. Or why Lil Kim is mad at Nicki. Because Nicki don't not mad at Lil Kim. It's many videos showing it's many videos showing Nicki Minaj praising Lil Kim.
This is true. Yes, but it's the behind the scenes stuff that we're not seeing. All the extra stories that we're hearing of the disrespect.
Because even Lil Kim asks this question and she can barely answer the question of what happened behind the scenes.
Because she don't want to dime her out like everybody else is diming her out.
You know what? This is how I mean, I don't know what happened behind the scenes because I don't follow Nicki Minaj's career anyway. I do like her as far as I think she is a good rapper and she's a good entertainer, but I don't follow her career. But I can understand where Nicki Minaj is coming from. You know, as far as defending my music, this is what I worked hard for. This is what I stay up at night for, other than my son. So I can understand her bringing up Lotto and as an example. I don't think she was really going at Lotto as an entertainer or a performer. Just going as an example. Like if you're gonna put my shit on pop music, put her stuff on pop music too, because it's the same thing. Now I think Lotto got mad and maybe thought that she's disrespecting me and gets calling, but that's just how the rap game goes. You know, I think also it's a little bit of let me argue with Nicki Minaj and get my light.
Right.
Because I mean, you're gonna get liked by arguing with someone who's popping, and Nicki Minaj is gonna be popping regardless of what anybody thinks about Nicki Minaj.
Right. I feel like you know Nicki's argument is valid. And like Mike said, I feel like she was just using Lotto's song as an example. She really didn't say anything definitively bad about Lotto's song, or she wasn't downing Lotto's song. She didn't even say that it didn't deserve to be nominated. So you know, I agree. And I'm thinking that Lotto kind of stepped a little bit too quickly, but you know, it is what it is. As far as Nikki and Lil Kim are concerned, like that is just like old news. I was on those interviews at that time. And you know, Lil Kim did give some insight. But you know, the show is only an hour long, so we don't have the time to get into that. But it is what it is.
I think Lil Kim is jealous of Nicki Minaj.
I feel as though it was a little bit of jealousy because Lil Kim was not the grande dame as Miss Karen is on Housewives of Potomac, and so you know it's understandable. And Lil Kim really did want for Nikki to acknowledge her at every single chance that she had. And of course, that's not going to happen with the new artist coming up. But you know, it is what it is. So, in other news, recently, Ye, or does he go by just Ye now, or Ye? Kanye West. He went on to an interview. He said two things that stood out to me. First thing he said was that Drake was the greatest rapper ever. Period. He also said. He claimed that George Floyd might not have died by the knee of Derek Chauvin, I believe his name was, that he had fentanyl in his system, which he did. And there's a chance that the fentanyl was what killed him. The mother of George Floyd's daughter, is suing Kanye West for $250 million for defamation, amongst other things. What were you guys' thoughts about those two comments? I will say this about Drake. Although I'm not into the rapping and things of that nature, I do hold Drake very, very high in that category. I feel like the rapping is very easy for him. I will say it's easy for him, but I won't say that he's necessarily the best at doing it. And as far as the George Floyd thing is concerned, we all know what killed him. They determined that during the medical examiner's evaluation of his body, so we already know what killed him. So, what do you guys think about his comments concerning these two things?
Well, I'm glad you didn't say what you said in the briefing, because you said in the briefing that Drake was the best rapper. You said you agree with Kanye on that one. I'm like, what? But
I kind of do. I kind of do, in a way. Not 100%, but I kind of do. But I'm not big on rap like that, though. So, my opinion really doesn't.
I'm not big on rap either, but I know Drake is not the best rapper alive. I can say that much. But no, I don't think Drake is the best rapper alive. I do not think that. I mean, he can never become before Tupac or Biggie Smalls or Jay-Z, Nas. Drake is never in the top 10, okay? So I don't know where that is coming from. I mean, you cannot forget the greats that are still here and living. Oh, well, some of them are. Because I named about two of those cats that was not here. But anywho, so no, I don't think Drake is I think Drake is a great rapper now. I'm not saying he's horrible, but as far as best rapper, no. And then him bringing up George Floyd, which I don't know where this is coming from. The man been dead over a year now, and it's like, let the man sleep in peace. And it doesn't matter if he had fentanyl in his system. If the police did not, we don't know if we could say it was fentanyl. If the police didn't have his knee on his throat where he could not breathe,
right?
That's clear as day. And Kanye, just shut up. Like, just where's your publicist? Where's your people that get some help? I really want Kanye to get help.
They've been fired.
Well, they have to be hired back.
Kanye West is the type. Kanye West is the type that will only have yes men around him. He is not going to have you around if you're going to tell him like it is. I just don't believe that.
And people say this cancel culture it can't exist because he's still here walking around freely and getting on everybody's TV show, making us look like a fool.
Right.
I don't have that to say about Kanye West. Kanye West is a bum. He's smart and dumb at the same time.
Right. That is perfect. He is smart and dumb at the same time. Perfectly describes him.
What you think, Ty?
He doesn't think about him.
Smart.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone is equating smartness with creative.
Mm.
Creative, he is. Smart, no, not so much.
Well, he could be creative and shut up. Can he do that on his?
He could creatively shut up, but you know what? I believe his creative genius, maybe that makes him feel like he has the right to say whatever he wants to say because he is that great. So, and that, of course, is not the thing. But as far as the whole Drake being the best rapper alive, maybe he's really good at being successful being a rapper. I'll give him that all day long. But as far as being an amazing lyricist and all that stuff, a great rapper, that's absolutely no. So I will also, I hope that they end up having to settle out of court and they get a hefty amount of monies for the George Floyd family. Right?
Yeah, $250 million.
I think they got a good lawyer. I'm sure the lawyer put that number up higher than what they were actually really looking for. So they can get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So as a wonderful lawyer, she's gonna get something.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I believe it. But the Juice Radio talk show say, fill in the blank, Danchi, Larry calls black folks. Basically, instead of saying the N-word, say Nancy.
Okay.
The polls mean nothing. Stacey will win. I am praying. Okay, Aaron.
Gotcha. I'm with you, girl.
Sis. I am with you, Aaron. I hope Stacey Abrams wins also. All right. I don't know these people's story, Nikki and Lotto. I'm going to sit this one out. That's what Regina said. And she also said, Oh Lord, Kanye. But I'm logging off.
Okay.
And Aaron says,
It's like, I'm out.
my heart breaks for his daughters. Oh, child, yeah.
Yeah.
Even having to deal with this comment. Yeah, it's God bless the George Floyd family because just like Aaron has said, the George Floyd family has been through enough. We will all see the video. Excuse me. We will all see the video. We know how he was killed, and it was actually
Right.
proven by
Murdered.
medical examiners,
Hmm.
professionals, people that don't do music.
Right.
But when your source of your information
Is
is
Candace?
somebody that is just as crazy as you, crazy loves crazy.
You know it.
Right.
I hope they find the
Yeah.
pills that they need
Right.
and take them.
He ain't gonna take them.
Exactly. Because you got to take them. You know, it's one thing to be prescribed, but you must take them in order for them to be effective. But anyways, more on that later. We're sure the Kanye saga has not come to an end.
I'm pretty sure.
So I felt like the second episode of the Housewives of Potomac was very, very good. And I felt like we should have a little bit of a talk about that on this show. So let's start out from the beginning. And we see that we're at Karen's little party. And then the girls are coming for Mia and her cancer diagnosis. Now, Mike, what do you think of Mia and her cancer thing? Like, are you with Giselle where you're thinking like, okay, so cancer, no cancer, what's going on here? Or are you believing her?
You know, it doesn't matter if I believed her or not. It's not my
Thank
story
you.
to tell.
Right.
And then also, if anyone is saying they're diagnosed with cancer or there's got a scare about cancer, I'm not going to question them about it. I'm just praying that whatever the case may be, you don't have it, and if you do, you're going to heal from it.
Right.
That's all
I
Mia
agree.
needed. That's all she needed. It doesn't have. It doesn't. I wouldn't care if you put 800 posts on Instagram about it. If it's your Instagram, and I don't care
Right.
if it's too much for you, Giselle, you can unfollow her or mute her, and you won't see none of her posts.
Exactly. And you know,
Absolutely.
what a lot of people have been saying is Mia brought up this cancer thing at the end of last season, and then we're at the beginning of this season, and she's still talking about it. But I don't think people really know that once they stop recording, they tend to start on almost automatically.
Like
And
WeChat,
so
yes.
not a lot of time has passed in between the reunion and where we are now, where they're filming. So that's what that is. What do you think of Ashley buying a house with Michael? Because a lot of the Oh, Jennifer, go ahead.
Yeah, I may have not seen it, but I know what's going on.
Oh, okay. I didn't know, child. I didn't know you were aware,
Anywho,
honey.
I do agree with Mike though. When it comes to talking about something as serious as cancer, like all you could do is say, first of all, you're crazy if you don't have cancer, you're talking cancer on your life.
Right.
And if it's real, I'm praying for it. Either way, I'd rather just act like we all know it's real and it's like, I hope you're all right, you know what I'm saying, and move along with that because you don't want to be that person that's wrong and then come to find out she went to glory because of cancer and you the one talking like it was right.
Right. Exactly.
And I will say, I'm not giving Giselle no excuse. It is a TV show. I know you have to make it interesting. And you have to talk
Right.
about, I know things that you normally wouldn't even bring up or even make a discussion in real life.
And in public at
You
that.
may are in public in a health setting, a sit down with like an event. I
Right.
know that you have to do that on these shows to make it interesting and get the people talking. And she got us talking about it, so she did something right.
She did.
Now, people are going to agree with Giselle, people not going to agree with Giselle, but she's definitely doing her job for this show.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Really
So
quick, guys. I just gotta say, Regina said Kanye and Candace, they are both like two popcorns that haven't fully popped.
Facts.
Breaking your teeth.
yeah, I saw the trailer for
Um,
her Black Lives Matter documentary thing. Oh my goodness, that thing is gonna be a MESS mess.
a hot one, hot steaming one. Not that I totally agree with all of that Black Lives Matter stuff, the organization. I do believe our Black Lives Matter, but some of the practices might have not been the best. Anywho,
Hmm.
Aaron says, Real Housewives of Potomac, yay, I'm a housewife addict.
Yes, me too, child.
Awesome.
Yes.
And Regina's laughing at me.
Yes, and so the next thing we have is a lot of the ladies are discussing Ashley buying a new home with Michael, whom she is currently separated with. They're actually still staying in the same condo, if I'm not mistaken. And so these girls are really getting down on Ashley for doing this. I feel as if I know why she's doing it, and I see why she's doing it. She's securing her bag before the bag goes away for good. She's making sure that she's set up. And if Michael is willing to help her do that, then, I'm all here for it. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't feel like he's being used by her, even though he really is being used by her. He doesn't feel that he's being used in that way, I guess. And so if Ashley wants to buy a home with her ex-husband, then, let her do it. What y'all think about it?
I think it's a big issue and a problem. And
Oh, wow.
this is why I say what I say. Coming from a divorced family where you had to beg, borrow, and steal from your baby father to get to have him do something for you. I don't feel. Yes, get the house, but would that man be there paying that bill? Because you can't afford it on your own. So if you piss Michael off, that Michael, white Michael, off, will he still be there to pay those bills, or would you and your two kids be out on the street? Because you can't trust these ninchies or whatever y'all say.
These people, God bless
These
you.
people.
You might as well go ahead and say it, because I know I'm just going to say nigga.
You can't trust these niggas. And I mean, me personally could never put my. You know what? Kaya said it best. You put your trust in your faith, stupid. How you feel good. You would never. You just can't trust these niggas.
Right.
So I just say that you never want to go into a place where you cannot afford. Now, if you go into a place where you or him can afford, if one person should not be there, then yes, by all means do it. But I will never put my name on something that I can afford. And if you run away or leave me alone or don't want to mess with me no more or just quit doing what you was doing before, that's gonna be a problem. So unless it's in writing,
I think along the lines more of Jonathan, I do believe she is stacking her chips and making the smart moves. And just setting herself up for what she wants. Right. So I don't know. I do think it is worth talking about on the show for sure, because none of it looks normal or whatever. These are the things that she's choosing to do. But as far as her being like forthcoming with her castmates and things of that nature, it's like
I like Ashley because she's always upfront and honest, even about things that we're gonna judge her about. Like, girl, it sounds stupid,
right? Which we will get
the
to.
Marriage and all the other stuff. Like, it all sounds like, girl, why are you even let everybody know this? But it's being honest. She's good for TV, so I mess with Ashley.
Exactly.
Regina says, "I don't play with illness, especially cancer. Both my parents passed away from cancer, and I am really sympathetic for people going through it."
Right.
You don't play with that. I agree.
I think everybody knows someone who died of cancer, and it's not easy subject to go through or even witness somebody going through it. But
it's a struggle.
To question somebody who possibly has it, how Giselle did it, was just rude as ooh.
It's Giselle.
That's true too.
Because she ain't got no class nor style. Regina says Ashley is smart. She has plenty of sense and working that knowledge to pay for her future and present.
Right. Exactly.
Aaron says that was good of Michael. If Ashley and Michael can get along well, go with it. I low-key agree with Aaron. Aaron says I am an optimistic always. I love that.
Well, I mean,
right, Aaron.
I just couldn't do it. I mean, I would have to have something, but you know what? I never been in that predicament either. But I just can't put my. I just can't. I can't
Yeah.
do it.
But I think there is a such thing as a couple being out of love, but still, because people that's not in love anymore, but still have love and care for that person.
Like
Right.
And
Tia Mari and Corey Hardrick, they on Instagram now saying they love each other now still, and they going through a separation.
Right.
I believe this is what I think in that situation. Just a quick little aside here. I just think T is trying to figure out what's out there. She's trying to figure out herself. Do you know how she got with that man?
How?
He was literally on the bus stop.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But that don't mean nothing.
I'm not saying it means anything. It just makes me wonder.
I mean, what does that mean? Is it gonna be somewhere
The bus stop
or in Kroger?
I'm just saying, some people's mindsets are not able to conform and meld with somebody that has had a life of opulence. Does that make sense?
It makes sense to me.
Sometimes that might not be able to come together like they need to come together.
Someone who's not
Maybe he
used
might,
to the
for
moolah.
all we know, he might not have ever gotten over the fact that she makes more money than him.
Well, she was already way richer than him than he first got together, so that shouldn't be an issue. Or maybe just
But
never get over it.
a lot of men go through that. And it's
Right.
something that can kill a relationship, because this will just have to be the last time you feel bad because I had to buy my own engagement ring.
So you think it's Corey?
It's okay.
You think it's Corey, the one with the who has the problem in?
It might be
believe-
because if you saw
Probably no.
Whitney Houston's interview with Oprah, she said that Bobby got jealous of her because she was making more money and she was the bigger star out of the two of them. So that ego thing with men, that ego thing with men goes a long way.
Well, yeah, Bobby, I think Bobby and Tia and Corey Hardrick is totally different. Bobby was a whore, doing what he wanted,
drug seller and drug addict.
Well, that's not act like he wasn't on drugs because of. Let's just speak the truth.
Oh, it wasn't because of Whitney.
No,
well, she the one.
Because he was selling.
What was he doing?
Oh, he was doing it too.
Well, she wasn't doing the hard stuff. Whitney was doing the hard. Wait, wasn't Bobby putting the Whitney on there? Just know that.
Yeah, it wasn't that way.
Everybody
right.
blamed him for it.
It was Whitney's brother.
Right.
And he said that on Oprah.
Exactly. So yes, we also had two surprise entrances at Karen's party. We had Charisse, according to Robin, the real grand dame, and then we also had Katie. And you know what Katie decided she wanted to do, child? She decided that she was gonna grab up on Ray's behind. Okay, stick a hand all up in it, honey. Like, what were your thoughts, Michael, when you saw Katie's hand all the way up his booty?
First of all, when I saw KT, period, she looked crazy as hell. What the hell is going on with Katie? She looks like something has happened. But when I saw her touch Ray's butt, it just kind of made me feel like it is such a double standard. Because when Michael was doing the same thing, everybody thought Michael was a creep. But everybody praising Candace for it. I mean, not Candace, Katie for it. But I know it's all in fun and games, and they actually know each other. And she only did because Ray has a crush on Katie or did or whatever. But I know it was all fun and games, so I know it was nothing major. But I didn't think that never, to be honest. I mean, it's Katie, and
I cringed.
You cringed? I mean, I wouldn't go in there and touch anybody's butt either. But I mean, I'm just saying.
Right.
But it was his butt.
I wouldn't want to touch nobody's butt.
and Loopy behind Katie. Look, real quick, Aaron said, I hate to have to go to bed. Oh, yeah. But I got to work, as we all do. I will definitely catch the rest on replay. Nighty night, Aaron.
Good night.
All right. Thank you so much for joining.
Regina says,
thanks for joining.
Nighty night. And Regina also says, it means that he was not wealthy and she accepted him. And she also threw in there and allegedly. And I just want to make sure I remind everybody of the crawl that is at the bottom of our show here. just letting you know that these are the viewpoints of the show and channel. They're all for entertainment purposes only.
Agreed. And so next we have Robin and Giselle sitting down, and Robin's got a little bone to pick with Giselle because Giselle done told her business about her house only being in her name and Juan not being anywhere on the paperwork. And like so Giselle says that, I told her because, I thought that she already knew. Well, if you thought she already knew, then why did you feel the need to have to tell her again if that was information she was already privy to? And then they get into the conversation of Chris actually approaching Giselle after the reunion last year, and Giselle saying she felt uncomfortable due to this interaction. What are your thoughts on Giselle's reaction? Not only
I
telling
think we should
Robin's business,
probably skip to like because it's kind of intertwined with each other when Giselle talked with Candace.
yeah.
Do the same. It's kind of, because I'm going to be saying the same thing.
Right,
So
right. So what are your thoughts on Giselle's issues with Chris and her bringing it up with Candace at the little dance thing that they went to later in the episode?
Oh,
I feel like Giselle is really reaching.
come on.
Absolutely.
Reaching for the moon, the stars, and everything up there in space. Because now I'm not a fan of Candace at all, and I
Me either.
I wanted somebody to really comfort Candace this season, only because she likes to comfort everybody else in her smart mouth. I want somebody to really get her together. But Giselle, you don't even have a leg to stand on with this read. Like I see what you're trying to do, but it's not working. And when Candace asked you, so did you feel uncomfortable? You said yes. Well, what did he do? Well, he didn't do anything. Well, so what are you bringing this up for then?
Right.
Because if he didn't touch you inappropriately, he didn't curse you out, he didn't say anything out the way, he didn't, why are you bringing this to my? I can see why I asked you about this to your attention, but I don't know why you brought this to my attention. But I can see why Candace got up and like, what are we doing here? Are you trying to attack my husband and stuff?
Right.
And how she was bringing this man will take your jacket off and cover a puddle so you can walk over. You guys came to my house. You consider you friends.
Right.
I hope Giselle felt low.
Agreed.
In that moment.
Agreed.
But,
and then the
agree
fact that Giselle said you're diminishing my experience. Like, girl, you don't even remember what your experience was. You don't even remember what the man said.
It's just not
your experience was diminished.
Right. So she clearly wanted to get a rise out of Candace. Now, she did actually end up getting a rise out of Candace, just not the type of rise that she wanted, because she wanted Candace to actually believe that Chris wanted to do something with Giselle, which we all know that ain't the case. So, Jennifer, what are your thoughts on it?
I have nothing for Candace. I do not like her. I feel like she's a little spoiled brat.
Yes.
So I feel no ways tired about her, but in this particular situation, I only wish she would have just stayed in there and continued to grill Giselle and make her look more and more stupid for what she was trying to do in that space.
Right.
But, she did what any spoiled brat does, run to the manager, run to the producer, and be upset about what they're doing. And it's like, I wish she would have just stayed in there, stayed in that fire, and put it all the way out and just let her have it and let Giselle walk out of that place singed, which is what she should have done for coming at her husband. And here's another thing, too. Candace could have told her the reason why I'm going in for my husband like that, because that's my husband. There's a big chance you've never had a relationship like that, even if you were married to Jamal Bryant. You don't know what that is. You don't think that I would believe my husband.
Do a Wendy on her?
Basically, like, I respect that situation. I'm going to automatically go off for mines because that's mines.
Right.
I'm not going to have to sit here and go to Tyrone and ask, well, did you do this? That was set in motion that it was done, or that I thought that it could have been done, or that he had it in his mind that he could do that.
Right.
But I know my husband just like Candace know hers. She wouldn't be doing no stuff like that.
And this was Housewives of Atlanta. They would let her ass have it. Giselle would have been roast.
Right.
Roasted.
Okay, you saw
So-
Phaedra, Miss Southern Belle, about to toss her purse at Kenya Moore. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
And in this space, in this moment, I feel that Candace represented what a real marriage relationship should be. I would never up and believe some random lonely trollop over the integrity of my
trollop.
husband. I would never.
Okay. And surprisingly, Giselle wasn't the only one claiming to have something with Chris, because Ashley had to give her little story about the DM that she got from Chris. But for those of you who do not know,
Well,
if someone comments on a story, it automatically goes to your DMs. So he wasn't literally going to her DMs to message her. He was replying to a story that she posted it was a picture of her and her friend, and he said that y'all should have come to the hotel.
Well, I still think Ashley had a story to tell, because her and Candace is not in the best relationship at all. I mean, they were just arguing back and forth at the reunion last season. And, it does seem a lot of men reply on your actual your picture or whatever
On
the
your
thing
story.
is.
Yes.
Because it doesn't go to the DM. So I would also bring this to Ken. If I'm not friends with you, and she didn't know Chris worked at the W.
Right.
So she really thought Chris was just like, okay, are you inviting me out to a club without Candace? So I can see why Ashley would maybe have an issue. And she did exactly what Candace did to Ashley when Michael was in the club.
Right. Yeah, I don't disagree with Ashley bringing this to Candace's attention. However, I feel like Ashley felt like she had something to give to Candace to get under her skin about.
I don't feel that way.
And I definitely do feel that way. And she was also trying to make it seem like Chris wanted to get with her friend as well. So that's Ashley's got a little bit.
I didn't feel that.
I felt that.
I don't know.
Because
Jennifer,
Same
here's the
blood
thing.
type. That's what it is.
When you
guys
can't
work
get
together.
Candace, now you're going to try to get together everybody else. You can't get Candace like you've been trying to. You've been trying to.
She's never been trying.
She's
She's never been trying to
bring
get
her down.
Candace.
I believe so. In her small little attempts, I believe so. But
maybe
when
not
you can't get to
outwardly.
somebody, thank you, not outwardly, but you try. But you want to go after what she loves, and that's her husband. And though I can't stand a young lady, I'm here for marriage.
right? Like Ashley was
They
literally
gonna sit together anyway.
Ashley was literally smiling through her entire scene with Candace while she was telling her that. Like Ashley was
not.
Yes, she was. Like I was watching it, like she was smiling through that entire conversation. She wanted to get something out of that. But anyways, the new episode of Housewives of Potomac is coming up this Sunday, so we can't wait to see what goes on with them. You want to read that comment, Jennifer, real quick?
Just that I put
but you
Candace
just said-
in the same box with Kanye. And speaking of Candace, no, she was at BravoCon this past weekend, and she performed her last year's hit called "Dry Back," where she should have just took that back to the vocal coach because she was off. If you guys heard,
but
Lord. Anyway, her tour started. Well, she calls it a tour. I call it a 5-city date because only 5 cities. And that's not, I'm not being a shady can, but a tour usually lasts more than 5 days.
Okay.
That's still a tour.
It's technically a tour.
It's a tour.
Well, her 5-city tour, it started 2 days ago, and I was like, I just want to see how the album sales went. I just want to see if people really buying her albums.
Okay.
She's at a vineyard, not like an actual stadium or a theater, or it looks like a vineyard or something like that. But nevertheless, probably has like maybe 45 seats. And,
oh Lord!
And I only see maybe 20 of those seats taken per city. And I also went on YouTube. I was being messy yesterday. I went on YouTube to see if anybody got anything. You know when Beyonce performs,
right?
at any show, it's gonna be on YouTube by 800 videos.
Right,
Okay.
I saw that
exactly.
one video of Canada's performance, so nobody actually recorded it, I guess. But nevertheless, that's neither here or there. You know, she's still a new artist, and we know she can sing, but it was a little off at BravoCon. But anywho, and then we in the baby site too, because he's on tour too. So he's in theaters this time, and the tickets are like $33. I'm like, oh, that's cheap. You know, the highest thing I think was like $175. That was like for floor seats and stuff. I said,
wow.
geez, I was Beyonce was that cheap, but
Right.
no, he's not selling out either. But I think that here or there,
He still isn't selling out with smaller venues.
at theaters.
Yikes.
Regina said, "Great point, Jonathan. DM directly from story reply." And she also says, "Child, Candace can drive back, stay back, get back, and don't come back." and the list goes on.
Speaking of if I'm dating somebody and I'm not with my man and he hit you up on on your story and he goes to your DM, like, I don't care if it's one of my friends, do not do that. Like, unless I'm there with you. Well, not none of my gay friends, because you can't trust these gay men.
Okay, they will sleep with your man in the hot second.
Heartbeat. Okay. And I don't want to go to jail no time soon, ever.
Right.
Ever. So
especially not over no man. Especially not over no man.
But don't tip me.
Child, but anyways, on to our last story. So recently Usher was performing at his Las Vegas show. Hopefully I can see Usher in Las Vegas next year if he's still performing there. But Chris Brown came to the stage, and Usher gave Chris Brown his flowers and called him on stage a legend. Do we agree with this sentiment? I agree with it. I believe Chris Brown is a legend. I think he's done amazing things in the music industry. He's definitely one of the top artists in the music industry. His first two albums his first three albums were, I believe, really, really good. And I'm glad that Usher feels this way. Mike, you seem to disagree. What are your thoughts?
Legend, no. Maybe in training, yes. I don't feel like Chris Brown has reached the point where he considered to be a legend. I feel like Beyonce just became legend. I don't think she was legend at Chris Brown's age either, or even Usher. And I don't think I would want to be called legend by Usher. Maybe. No, I probably want somebody like maybe Patti LaBelle, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Somebody who's been in the game a long time, who's actually legendary. Like, legends in the game who will make me want to be called legend. I feel like Chris Brown and Usher is peer-to-peer. I feel like him calling Chris Brown legends like Jacquees calling himself the new king of R&B for the young people.
No, I get that. I understand that.
So, but I'm not taking Chris Brown is very talented. I think legend in training, but you're gonna have to put in more work and do more things other than do the same kind of music on every album. You're gonna have to change it up some. You reach different people to be legendary, and I don't feel like Chris Brown has got to that point yet.
All right, Jennifer, Tyrone, your thoughts on Chris's legendary status?
For me, I can understand his power. He has star power. He is consistent with his music. He continues to come out with a lot of music. Whenever he tours, I have not heard about low sales with tickets. So people are certainly coming to see a Chris Brown show. And he is a great entertainer. And it's like he doesn't lose his breath. He just keeps on going and going and going with great energy. But as far as him being a legend, maybe we need to say he's a legend of R&B, possibly. Okay. I'm not sure if he would ever be a legend in my eyeballs. I'm sure he is a legend
Maybe
in
that's what it is right
songs.
there. That might be what it is for me too. I'm not seeing him as being legend. I ain't even seen Usher being
Not for
legend in my
me.
eyeball. Yeah, not for me.
Okay. I can
But
I can
it's
understand that.
I can't say too much because it's not like I'm a huge fan of his though. So I
Okay.
don't want to
That's true
like go
too.
too deep into it. I'm not buying albums for Chris Brown. I've enjoyed a lot of his songs, but not all that deeply.
See,
Um,
Right.
when I think about
uh,
legend though, legend people who are considered to be legends have done so much different things within the music industry, produced, albums, wrote songs for people, like
he
just sang
has.
with
He's
other
done all
people.
that.
He's done all of that.
He produces. That's where his
He
music come from.
writes.
He writes. He also writes for others. Yeah.
I, I, I don't I don't see legends
He's
there.
just not a legend for Mike. I think we can just make that
That's
clear.
Are
it.
Like
a lot of people. You think he's a legend,
What you think?
Tyrone?
I would probably decline that um, because honestly, there's not enough years, like you were saying, under this belt. Now, his discography and the hit list is worthy of the title of being legendary
So does he
for
have a
the time period that he falls on.
right.
Does he have a song that is like everybody like? Okay, that's a. Not everybody has the go-to song from Chris, like every artist who's legendary. Like Patti LaBelle has many go-to songs that
Poppin',
people will never.
Yo,
But those are not go-to songs. Poppin' and Yo are not songs people like. Oh my God, that's Chris. You never heard that song from Chris Brown. Like that's not a song that you will just play at a party or you won't play those songs. When you think about Chris Brown,
not
you think about
now.
Poppin'. You think about Yo. But if you think about Patti LaBelle, you're gonna say, yeah, now I mean you. If only you know, if you think about Diana Ross, you're gonna think about her and Supreme. You just think about people who are legendary. Also have a song or three that are also like timeless songs that you can listen to
That's the
in
word.
any era.
That's
I
That's
the
don't
the
feel
that's
like
the
word.
word.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a
Timeless.
timeless
Yes.
song.
Usher, Chris Brown, Tyrese. These people don't have songs that are timeless because their time hasn't elapsed long enough for them to be timeless.
Right.
But well, that's true too. But I feel like if you a timeless song can also be on you have several albums. They all have several albums right now, and
Yeah. T-Pain
Yeah.
has several albums.
but he's not legendary.
But does
either.
that make him a legendary? Does that
No.
make him a timeless artist? No, it doesn't.
But he's certainly an innovator, and he's on his way to
Well,
being a
yeah,
legendary
I think
person.
he's good in the behind the scenes, but
You know?
well, when he get a timely song, then he can be called legendary.
Because like to be honest, Destiny's Child and Beyonce's music hasn't become timeless yet.
Mm.
Because time hasn't elapsed for them to become timeless. You can log off. It doesn't make it wrong.
I don't.
Are you gonna put her up there against Aretha Franklin's timeless hits?
Oh, not.
You
Come on,
can't.
you don't put anybody
See?
against. When you come legendary, you don't put nobody against them. Patti LaBelle and Aretha Franklin can never be against each other. Whitney Houston is in a thing of her own. Luther Vandross is a thing of his own. You can never put them against anyone because they're a
And
category of his own. When you become
Beyonce.
legendary, it eliminates you from being into a
Being compared.
compared.
Right.
Is Beyonce becoming uncomparable?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Beyonce already became.
I think she's already
No.
at that level.
Became, yeah.
The reason why is there is nobody competing against her head to head.
Exactly.
And nobody will ever.
Right.
She's been in 3 decades, and nobody ever can be competing against her.
And why is that?
It was thing on.
Why are we not comparing her to?
Because there's no one like Beyonce. That's why. And that's it. Right there. Well,
Right.
Somebody put on TikTok. I saw it yesterday. It was saying that Adele is a great singer, but she could never sing Beyonce's music or anybody else's music because she can only sing Adele music. But Beyonce can sing Adele's music. Now we all know Adele's a great singer, but you know that she can't. I don't think she'll be able to sing Beyonce's music either. As far as the rips and runs, look, this is what TikTok. It's not my own. It's not my own words. It's not my own words. They even said like Kiki Wyatt, a great singer, but she sung. She did not. She sung "Love on Top," and it was horrible. Sometimes people, it was horrible.
I'm gonna have. Oh, is that on YouTube?
It's on
Yes,
TikTok.
it is on
It's on
YouTube.
TikTok. You saw it?
She actually professionally recorded it, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't agree
it's
with
not-
what Mike said about it, but you know.
Oh, she sung it live. Look at the live version. You thought it sounded good, Jonathan? Well,
What I heard, it sounded like Kiki Wyatt singing "Love on Top," and to me,
Bingo.
it sounded good. That's
Just
what
like
it sounded like to me.
when Anita Baker sung "Lately"
Right.
by Tyrese. It was Anita Baker singing Tyrese's song.
But she's a legend, though. So,
Yeah,
But,
you can't stop her.
But yeah,
Okay,
we-
Regina said, I reply to people's stories and I ain't loving nobody but Clovis.
that's right.
She also says, Chris Brown, a legend? Don't you have to be over 50 in the game for decades,
Hey.
plural?
Look, like I said, their time has not elapsed for them to be considered legends.
So do you
Did
think
they
this
say
new child
legend or legion? Oh, go ahead. Okay, one last one.
Mm-mm.
I don't know any Chris Brown songs, but I do know I'm leaving on that midnight train to Georgia.
All right. So we want to thank everyone for joining us this.
Cast your vote.
In the comments,
In
let
the
us know how
comments.
you feel, please.
And if you catching that train with Regina on that midnight train to Georgia, be sure to cast a vote for the other guy, not the babbling food.
Well, he might be. Well, he might be. Shit, child.
But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us this evening. Please be sure to join us next week, same time, same place, same beautiful faces. If you like what you're seeing here and you enjoy our commentary, we're also involved with the Juice Radio and Talk Show. We're on the reality show on Mondays, as well as the church news on Thursday night. So make sure to look up the Juice Radio and Talk Show on YouTube and I believe on Facebook as well. Mike, go ahead and give us your social media contacts real quick.
So yes, my social media is Mr. Real 121. It's MRREAL 121. You can find me there at on Instagram, TikTok, and also Twitter, where you can see the legendary Beyonce and Destiny's Child there. Okay, because they are legends in the game.
Yes.
All right, Jennifer Tyrone.
Hello. My name is Jennifer, also known as the Light of the Leo.
What
What did I say? The Light of the Leo.
The
Yeah,
Light of the
sorry.
Leo. Yeah, you said it right.
Anyway, find me on Instagram and TikTok at the Light of the Leo. And very soon you'll be finding me on YouTube at the Light of the Leo as well. I do have videos up. If you want to find my videos on my series on my struggle to be me, as well as my Sweet Fantasy series, go ahead and type Sweet Fantasy series and the Light of the Leo, and you'll find me immediately. Go ahead and subscribe. Thank you.
Yes.
It's your boy, Mr. T.D. McCullough, musician, business guru. and a little bit more. Find me Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Mr. TD McCullough. I got music. You can check me out. I got a new song that's coming real soon. I
Okay.
think you will like it.
I think
And-
you guys will like it.
And he's going to be legendary in the
Right.
game. I'm
And,
pronouncing it.
and you all can find
Announcing it. Stop pronouncing.
and you guys can find me on Instagram. My Instagram is jojo_3020. My TikTok is jojo_3020. I'm sorry, jojo_3020 _. I'm on Facebook, Jonathan Lee. You can also email me, williamjonathanlee@gmail.com. Again, make sure you subscribe to JoJo Speaks and share it with all of your friends. So yes, until next week, we're gonna say bye now. Bye, y'all.
Bye now.
We out, y'all. Y'all
See ya
stay safe
next
out there.
week.